Hey, what's up, children of the sun? This is your spiritual nomad, Monterey Bible. Yep, that's my real last name. And I know I have not been making a lot of content lately, just a little bit here and there, focusing mostly on Instagram and TikTok. But a lot of people want short content nowadays. Gotta feed the children. Um, YouTube, I don't know. Like I said, I still have that shadow ban here because I talk about controversial stuff. Sometimes give predictions of what I think is going to happen. And sometimes YouTube doesn't like that or sees it as me stating some type of fact. I am a tarot reader. I just try to make predictions. If y'all look at my last reading I just did, I did a reading about the Rothschilds. And pretty good prediction, as I later found out that everything I said was pretty much true. So the universe is always reminding me, like, hey, man, you're on point. You're doing this right. And then it does take a lot of energy. And I guess sometimes I feel like, I just need to take a siesta. But I know now is not the time for it. This world is speeding up very quickly. A lot of changes are happening in the country, supernaturally, paranormally. We're starting to see more paranormal events. I am always running across the videos on the algorithm with the ghost sightings and all types of things, and people actually showing viable proof that either their home is haunted or their apartment is haunted. The veil is lifting, and we're starting to see more and more examples of how spirits, good and bad, are interacting with our world. And even to come back on a more mundane level, how some of this energy, as above so below, is affecting people on a normal scale. We're seeing, a lot more violence. And where is that coming from? Well, when we have malevolent spirits being fed into our world through different types of portals, of course they're going to possess people. Of course they're going to try to influence people. Sometimes you can't even be possessed. Some people are just being influenced. And people do really crazy stuff, or people don't know what to do with their energy, or people are going into a low vibrational state. They're getting depressed and taking it out on each other, or they're taking it out on themselves. It doesn't have to be violence on other people. It can be violence on yourself. And a lot of people, when I see a lot of people do a lot of damaging things to their body, that's one thing where you're seeing, like, they may be going through something, not only on a mental level. And you see this world is we're really focused on, mental health. But man, we keep forgetting about the spiritual health. And it's because some people have such a bad taste in their mouth about religion. And this is not even religion. It's just spirituality. It should be a part of everyone's life. And when you remove that, aspect, that supernatural, that ethereal part of yourself, then you lose touch with the source. And that's what I do believe these powers that want to be really want you to do. They want you to lose touch with the source. And when you do that, you become more selfish. You become more of, it's just about me. It makes it easy for people to feel like they can own other people. They can own. Let's just be real. You don't own anything that you didn't create. People owning land, people owning water, the air you breathe, and then charging you a hefty price to get it. Like, that's crazy. But we've grown to accept that that's just normal, when in truth it isn't. It's not normal. And I know I'm going off on a tangent, but Spirit just kind of led me. It's like, Monterey, stop sitting by yourself and talk. Because I have a lot of stuff I do want to talk about. Sometimes I feel like, I don't know who's listening. But even when nobody's listening, maybe that's the time to talk, right? And I know it gets annoying when we see so many people talk about so many different subjects, and there's so many different opinions out there, and they're just all out there. And like I said, I'm not claiming to be the number one professional on any topic. I'm just giving you my opinion. So if you like it, you want to hear it, great. I'm here for it. And also to give my advice based upon any spiritual insights that I get, I would gladly give it to you. Sometimes you need a friend just to give you a different point of view. And if we don't know the answers, we don't know the answers together, we can figure them out. And that's how I live my life. I don't claim to know everything, but I say, hey, you know what? I'll figure it out. Because you put a question in my head, and you know what I like? I like to research stuff. So, with that being said, I was just up watching YouTube, drinking my coffee, and I was like, well, I want to watch YouTube. And I've watched a lot of Billy Carson videos on his channel. Billy Carson's pretty cool. I don't agree with everything he has to say, but he does have some interesting information when it comes to aliens and the Anunnaki. So I like to entertain it. He also has another person on his channel that also posts videos. And so this video I wanted to watch with you guys. Let me get it added to my thing. You're like, it's Trump. This video is titled "Trump Knows About Aliens and Hasn't Said Anything." That's interesting because I find this a good topic only because Trump knows something. He was president, right? Excuse me, I got a little gas. And he would know some secrets. And if you compare how he ran as president the first time and what he's doing now, it seems to be more strategical or methodical. But anyway, that's neither here or there. That's just, I want to see what this video is about. So let's get on to it. I'm just going to turn this volume down real quick. Oh, that was abrupt. All right, let's get into this.
An Israeli space
I'm going to go ahead and...
says that aliens exist.
But Roswell's a very interesting place, but a lot of people would like to know what's going on. I still have to think about that.
He claims there is a galactic federation, a group of advanced extraterrestrials, and that President Trump is aware of them.
I like the production.
Starts out by saying that a galactic federation has been waiting for humans to reach a stage where we would understand what space and spaceships are. His name is Haim Eshed. Now, I kind of look at the narrative of that particular question, but
I don't know if you guys have heard of the Galactic Federation. I've heard about it in a few videos. It's saying that there's not just one type of alien, there's different types of aliens. They all know each other. I don't know.
Let's just go over the entire article and then we'll backtrack so we can question some of the things that is being said. Now, he's a former Israeli space security chief, and he sent eyebrows shooting heavenward, what they call it, by saying that Earthlings, listen to me, have been in contact with extraterrestrials from a galactic federation. Now, he called the unidentified flying objects have asked not to publish that they are here and humanity is not ready. This is Haim Eshed. He is the former head of Israeli Defense Ministry Space Doctorate, okay? Now, he told this paper, he said in an interview in Hebrew, which ran at the time on that Friday, had gained a lot of traction after parts were published in English by the Jerusalem Post. Now, if you think about it, we're talking Hebrew, we're talking Jerusalem, all of these spiritual places. All right. He says a respected professor, retired general, now that means he have access, said that aliens were equally curious about humanity and were seeking understanding the fabrics of our universe. Now,
and see, here's the thing. I think a lot of this stuff is not true. I think the aliens have been here. I think they're still here. I think they know about us. This is where we have all this mythology and stuff, like around the world, about different beings and whatever, and gods and stuff. I think they've been here. If they're in communication with something that says, "Oh, we're just trying to figure you guys out. We never know," somebody lying.
He also goes on to say that the corporation agreement have been signed between parties and species, including a underground base in the depths of Mars where there are American astronauts and aliens represented.
Have y'all seen these videos? I gotta find the video. Someone was comparing. There's this island, I think it's called Devon Island in Canada. And he was showing comparisons of how it looks and how quote unquote these videos of Mars looks, saying that we never actually went to Mars. This is what this guy, this TikToker was talking about, that we never went to Mars. They're just making video recordings of these desolate places up north, barren tundras and whatnot.
Now, he said there's also agreement between the U.S. government and the aliens that they're signed a contract with them to do experiments here on Earth in our soil, in U.S. area.
They experiment.
He added that President Donald Trump, who was president at the time, was aware of the extraterrestrial existence and had been on the verge of revealing the information, but was asked not to in order to prevent mass hysteria. Now, I think we've all seen, if you've seen a lot of YouTube videos, you might have seen Trump apply and ask the question, somebody asking about UFOs, and he arrogantly at some point, I would say, and I think this cool, said, I think there exists, or he came real close to saying it, if I'm not mistaken. And the reason why I use the word arrogantly, because he's not, if it is there, he's not going to let people get over on him and say, oh, I didn't know about the UFOs. He like he said, he's going to know everything, because that's the type of president that he was. So let's break down the narrative and question what we're talking about here, so that we as a community can get an understanding what these truth seekers, us as truth seekers, and what the big secret keepers tend to want to keep from everybody. If you start thinking about the Galactic Federation, I think we've all heard that term somewhere within our research or within the community of ufology, that there is some type of council that looks over what happens in Earth, that supposedly controls some of the outcomes of things here, maybe protect us from some bad entities that are out there, maybe maybe could be part of some experiments of what's happening, or from I was told, or I've read in several places, that they have this kind of rule that they do not interfere with what happens here on Earth. And so we're some type of Project Planet, and I probably said that a million times, right?
Like it's an experiment.
Okay, so now let's break that down. He's saying a Galactic Federation saying that we don't understand space. And that could be a lot of truth in that. If you think about the narratives of what we're talking about, if we're going to question what we think we know with the Hubble.
And I don't think it's space like we think of it. I think it's interdimensional space. It is the space between dimensions. That's what I believe space really is. And that these beings, they're actually underwater. They're in the ocean. But when they're talking about space, it's not like outer space. No, it's like this inner space, inner in between dimensions, where they can travel very quickly through time and space. Basically, they can go to one place to another. They can go to a different time period through these dimensions, backwards and forwards, which helps them understand things or tell you things. Okay, so just keep that in mind.
Satellites with us traveling into space. Do we really have a true understanding? Because after that, we know there's wormholes, we know there's portals, we know there's so many anomalies out there when it comes down to this. Is it something that we as humans could comprehend? The other part is spaceships. Now, I'm going to tend to probably agree with that if the Galactic Federation is saying that we don't understand spaceships, and probably not, right? Because we're still in the infancy stage of building spacecraft that can go all across the galaxy and back, versus, short trips and short.
I think spaceships are more of a ethereal thing, like the Merkaba. Research that.
Excursions or explorations into the moon and back, or maybe Mars. But what about the Star Trek type things, right? Where we can kind of go way out there, go anywhere that we want to go and see the entire universe. And so they're waiting to see if we're going to ever get an understanding, or are we going to get there? Now, that intrigues me the most, because there's a lot of things that we'll talk about from there. But I'll get what some of you think about the Galactic Federation, if you want to put that into the chat, and let's kind of see what your thoughts is when it comes down to the Galactic Federation. Because where I'm going with this conversation is, it is time for us, the truth seekers, the community, to begin to look back on what have been said in the past. And then you kind of want to put it in connecting dots to what is being said now and see if some of those things are lining up to be any truths. See if those things are lining up to become some of the reality that we know today, because there were people that were shunned back in the day. And like he said, he would have been hospitalized had he mentioned this 5 years prior than the 20th of December, 2020. Okay. Another part of this was he said that the extraterrestrials, all right, have been in contact with us, and that we at some point have, okay, let me back up right here.
Well, we already know
He's
that.
saying that once again that we're not the UFOs or whoever's in these craft are asking us not to publish who they are. Now, who are they asking this to, right? Or are they asking, and we're going to get into that because
So who they are is actually a secret.
obviously it said that there's some type of agreement that have already been made. And the other part of that, why United States, right? But anyway, he says that they don't want people to know because humanity is not ready. If that is the case, and it was 5 years ago, and if it was some type of signed agreement, why are they pushing for disclosure today? Why? Or, well, maybe it's us who's pushing, and then, of course, the big secret keepers and the military, all of the people or companies, private corporations are fighting back to protect the secret. Now, could they be doing this in our best?
They're trying to protect the system that they've been profiting from, because it's a bunch of lies. If those lies come out and people start realizing that they've been lied to this entire time, they've been lied to about society, they've been lied to about history, they've been lied to about religion, all of that stuff comes out, yeah, people are going to be mad. People are going to be upset. Some people are going to be going to the depths of depression, because they haven't had their true awakening. And they're going to just be like, oh my gosh, everything I know is fake. Yep, it's all a lie.
Interest?
And it's going
Could
to
they
empower
feel
some
that
people.
we are not ready, although we think they're hiding something from us, although they're benefiting from it, probably from technology, money, all of these things? But is it in our best interest that they are making sure they're fighting to keep it a secret? If the Galactic Federation is sending signals saying, hey, don't tell everybody, who is pushing the narrative and why is the thing that they will push a narrative to say, let's put this out here, let's share all of this information, let's get humanity ready for what we would consider disclosure. Now, he said what sticks out to most is that he said that the respected professor said that the aliens were equally curious about humanity and were seeking to understand the fabric of the universe. All right, so that goes back. Let's question what he's saying here. He is saying that there's a group of aliens, Galactic Federation, different people, council or whatever, is saying that they are intrigued by humanity. But
Yeah, because they need us. For some of these interdimensional beings, call them demons, spirits, angels, whatever, they're interdimensional. They are beings. They live and die. They just have a different timeline. They can live longer. Some of them are interested in humanity because they use us as food, as energetic food. They're feeding off of you. They're feeding off of your fears, low energy, insecurities. Of course. What were they talking about? The archons? Have y'all researched the archons? ARCONS.
yet we have all of these stories of ancient Anunnaki or ancient astronauts that we were brought here. There are some stories that we were created by them. And that lets us know at some point what is really happening. How is that there's a group that are curious, like they found a lost puppy somewhere and going, where did you come from? How did you get here? Let's explore this puppy, so to speak, right? And the other one, in our other histories, as we go down, we were created, we was here to mine gold. So it's almost like nobody's trying to be curious. Nobody's curious about humanity when they created it, right?
Right.
And then, of course, we got the Galactic Federation, who's supposed to be regulating all intents purposes, things that are happening outside of this universe that we don't know about. Could be possible threats. It could be all kinds of stuff, right? That all kind of boils down to what is going on, and I think it's one of the things that we want to look into. Is there a galactic federation? Do we have any proof of a galactic federation? We're going to question the narrative.
That's a good
Got to
question.
question the narrative
Yep.
when it comes down to what is happening, because today everything needs to be broken down from there as well. I'm not talking about the spiritual side. Is
Okay.
there someone looking down in this capacity and are saying, boy, these earthlings are crazy today? Or
Is Earth like a farm? Is this just a big, huge ranch for humans? And we don't realize that. You can't go as you please. You need a passport. You can't just get up and you have to check in wherever you go. Okay. They have people just doing it willy-nilly now online, but think about it. I mean, other than the um, illegal immigrants coming through the border, they're being allowed to do that. You know, most places you can't just walk into a country. And that's another question. I mean, that's a whole nother question right there. Is what's going on with the world? I may have to do a reading on that one. But if you guys want me to do that, just let me know in the comments.
they're doing some stuff, and that'll be something that I think we should definitely find out and pretty much look into. One of the things about this is there a galactic federation? Once again, anybody in the chat got information that
Like an organization of extraterrestrial beings, interdimensional beings. He said, don't go spiritual. He wants to be like physical aliens. I think there's an organization, yes, of beings that are not human. Yes, I agree with that. I don't think that everything that's intelligent on this planet is human. I think some of these are related, maybe more blood related to Anunnaki. Some are more blood related to some other aliens, or what we call aliens. um, there's a lot going on that we don't know about. That, yeah. I think if humans started realizing that there are people that look human that aren't actually human, that would freak people out. That would make people, I guess, we won't call them racist. We'll call them specious. Like, are you the same as me? People are already kind of hateful already, and give them another reason to think, and they might even flip out. It all depends on kind of humanity. Also, some people will think, maybe they are something else, just based upon what I know about Anunnaki history. But, it's neither here or there.
you want to say that you think possibly there is a galactic federation that is looking over us, right? Do you have that information that you
Me?
could help us with to determine if there is a galactic?
Like I said, I think it's a farm. I think this is a controlled experiment. And every country is another social experiment. China is a big social experiment on how people will react. Australia is a social experiment about how people will react if we do this, this, and this. Africa is, well, not all of Africa, but different countries in Africa, Nigeria, stuff, South Africa, are all different social experiences about how Black people will respond to um, certain what's the word? Stimuli. Europe, different parts of Europe are social experiments. England being the main one, Italy being another, Greece another, and then in the United States, it's not the entire United States. It's different states. That's why different states have different rules. They're all trying. It's all a big social experiment to see how people are going to respond. So they're bringing everybody into North America, and I wanted to say this: watch all the rich people move further south because it's cheap. Watch.
Federation, right? And so the thing about that would be what is happening, what is going on with that. If there is a Galactic Federation, what are their purposes and why don't they intervene in things such as wars and all that stuff that happens here on this planet? So that's something
Population control.
We got former President Trump that they're quoting or saying that he knew. I saw a couple of clips in the past that he talked about extraterrestrials and kind of alluded to that he knew. What would keep the most powerful persons on the planet, our presidents, who would keep them in check, who will basically tell them, you better not say no sugar honey iced tea about the alien technology?
Because those are the dark overlords. Now, this world is really being run by, just like the Bible would say, princes and principalities and high places. No new story, nothing new under the sun. We've been dealing with these interdimensional beings for centuries. They're still here. They just go by different names now. They still run stuff. They still control a lot of our world leaders. And the only thing we have our own angels that are helping us, trying to keep us educated. But the thing is, like, people have gotten so, and that's where I tie it right back to the beginning. We've gotten so disconnected with spirit, and we think that what I see with my eyes is the only thing that's true, and that's about to be really fucked up because what people are going to realize, especially with AI, can you believe what you see? Can you believe what you see? Because they're going to start fooling you with your eyes. They're going to start giving you pictures and videos of stuff that are AI generated. And if you don't start listening to your intuition and say, something ain't right, and then start examining things and asking spirit, reveal to me the truth, then you're going to fall for every lie that you see that they start generating. They're going to start generating pictures and videos and voices that sound like those people. And if you just go emotionally with your first reaction, especially with my community, the black folks, we're very emotional. Point blank. Let's be honest. And I think everyone's emotional, but when I say black folk, when we get emotional about something, we boom go from 1 to 10. And if we don't stop for a second before we put our emotions involved and say, well, wait, what did I just watch? What did that mean? Like, do some critical thinking before you get emotionally involved and start posting and reposting and whatever. And sometimes I'm guilty of that too. I admit, because I'm not only emotional, I'm a Pisces too. But I'm just saying that to say that slow down, listen to your intuition. Your intuition is not the same as your emotions. Okay, it is it is a it is a feeling. It is a feeling, but it's not your emotions. It's just something internal coming from some place that you don't really understand. It's knowledge that you're getting from how do I explain it? That you're getting from the universe, really from the ether. So I heard one girl explain it really nicely how water holds information. I know I'm going on a tangent. I'm sorry. Water holds information, and when water evaporates, it becomes air. And if we think about air, air is a symbol is symbolic of information. It's symbolic of our thoughts, the things that are in the air. So if you think about it, there's information everywhere. There's information in our DNA. There's information in water. There's information all over the place, and we just have to be able to tap into that energy. Okay, and when you tap into that energy, or what they may call the Akashic records or all of that, you just start knowing stuff, and you're like, where did this information come from? How is it? So things are going to start flipping, where they're going to try to um, trick people with the physical, because they can do it. You can manipulate reality, but you can't manipulate spirit. And when everybody starts coming to the same consensus by using their spiritual knowledge, and a bunch of people start knowing the same thing, and they don't know how or why, that's when you know spirit is involved. Because how did all these people come to the same consensus and none of them know each other? And none of them are from the same demographic or whatever, but they just simply know. Because there's something when we call it Akashic records or the ethereal or whatever, that's like what I've said before, it's like the spiritual internet. It's not artificial intelligence, it's the organic intelligence. Is the one, it's the source. And when you tap into that, it's just like Google, it'll just start giving you information. But that's the real source. There're gonna be some fake stuff coming out real soon. And just get ready for it. All right, guys, I'll put this video. Trump knows about aliens and hasn't said anything. I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to watch that or follow this channel, uh, the Forbidden Knowledge channel. And if you want to send me a cash app, feel free to, because my brother could use another cup of coffee. And be sure to subscribe. Leave me some comments. Like I said, they got me shadow banned here, so most of you guys already know to some extent because y'all comment all the time. So glad to be back on YouTube. Like I said, just got to change things up around here because YouTube is focused mostly on podcasting. So gotta go with the changes. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok if you guys want to see my readings, as I will be moving those over there. I'll post some periodically here, but just ain't doing good over here. All right, guys, just the real. I will talk to you guys later. Make your reality happen, because if you don't do it, then who will?